What's goody, everybody? It's full-time trip. We are back in the building. Arsenal 2, Man United 0 at the Emirates Stadium. Quick work, clean sheet business has been done at the Emirates. We're 3 points up, I believe 7 points behind Liverpool as of right now, sitting in third place. Good win today. Did what we needed to do in that second half to get over the line and control the rest of the game and really get on the front foot. A lot of stuff we got to get into and talk about. First and foremost, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you've been well. Sorry I missed the West Ham stuff. I had some other prior engagements that took me away from it, and timing just gotten away from me. But we have the time for this stuff today. Man. Again, 2-0 goals from Jurrien Timber and William Saliba in the second half to see us through. Slightly different, but also, you know what I'm saying, it's a weakened Man United side. It's a weak Man United side generally. You know where they're coming from. We know who they are. But just to look at Emirates' side, to look at the constructive criticisms and potential downsides of this game and our performance, and looking at the upsides, I would say, listen, Emirates, I've been on record saying this before, and I will continue to say it. Emirates is somebody that down the line we will need to worry about, because he is a very, very, very good manager. Very good. Knows how to frustrate people, knows how to frustrate other teams. His setups are very, very, very good. And just now, I feel like even in this game, again, United, it's such a weird fixture. As always, we already know how it goes. Sometimes we play the badge instead of the team that we're facing, and then we just let them, play their way or play into their hands, so to speak. They were playing very conservative. I felt like they were playing for a draw a lot of the times, when just the way we were settled into play looked like we were a bit passive. It looked like, not saying that we didn't want to win, but it's like we were very cautious in figuring out when to jump, figuring out when to be more aggressive. But again, still a credit to Emirates in the first half for having that structure with this United team to at least try and frustrate us in certain patches and not allow us to get the ball zipping around like how we want it to. So I say that, man. I'll give some credit where credit is due. Shout out to Lenny Euro, because I actually do like that kid. And that's about it. All right, cool. Now for us in the first half, I thought that was very, it wasn't an aggressive on the front foot performance, and it was in a certain type of way from most of the players. We can get into specifics about who was doing what, but just generally from a team perspective, there was just a bit of passiveness. It was a bit of like trepidation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying fear of the other team, with of that, but just fear of the space and taking a little bit of a risk. Maybe a bit more aggression in the press to try and elicit more mistakes, which we did in certain patches, but it just wasn't consistent. We chose to rely in our defensive shape more often than not and try and create something, but then they settled into their shape in the mid block, and we got into some difficulties, trying to advance and progress. Of course, there were some good chances that came about, but I think most of them were off of set pieces, but that's neither here nor there. But that first half was just defined by trepidation into being more aggressive, and specifically attacking these open spaces. Like, there have been more times than not that I saw when we were in a passing sequence, there'd be like, a little bit of space to carry into and have somebody commit to the player who's carrying the ball and maybe open some more things up. I only saw in that first half 3 people who were doing that more than 2 times. William Saliba, Timber, and I believe Declan did it at least twice. I think he did it twice. Everybody else I've seen maybe one time. I saw Havertz do it maybe like once. Odegaard, I think maybe did it like for a little bit, but no more than like 3 yards. Like anybody 5 yards and over, that's who I'm considering who did it multiple times to, like, again, create that little bit of commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's gonna be a team that's so structured to be in this mid block, they're trying to pack up numbers, they're trying to sit here, win the ball in this section, and then spring and then go for it. We have to have a bit more endeavor when it comes to carrying the ball in central areas. Again, shout out to Bastian on Twitter. He was like, yo, this is a ESR Waneri game. You know what I'm saying? And I would tend to agree. And these games where the lines are kind of set and they're really trying to, again, just frustrate us in terms of only forcing passes out wide and cutting off central access, but still the gaps are there for somebody to make a run if they're brave enough to carry the ball through. That would have been great. And I only saw it through, again, Saliba, through Rice, and through Timber in certain patches of that first half. But yeah, it just wasn't wasn't aggressive enough in my opinion, but that seemed to have gotten in the ear of the players from the coaching staff, and Mikel and everybody's told them something, because second half they came out, it was much more aggressive, it was much more front-footed, there was a lot more zip in the carrying and looking for more incisive passing, and things started to open up from there. And I thought we did better to advance up the pitch through those little moments. But I'd say the star of the show, man, the star of the show, Set Piece FC, bro. If you don't like it, try and stop it. Everybody who's complaining about set pieces, barely any one of y'all have stopped them this season. So do something about it. I'm tired of this. So one day we're prime Stoke City and we can only score this way, and then another day, oh, we can't break down a low block and blah blah blah, we pass backwards or da 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 da, this, that, and the third. But we're creating chances nonstop. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many goalpost moves that I've seen for this Arsenal team. It's ridiculous, and that's why I don't listen to any of these rival fans, because they waffle like 95% of the time. Outside like some people who pride a little bit of objectivity, a tiny bit. And again, those tiny bit of people, sometimes they do it more than some of our fans that's on Twitter and all stuff like that. But that's beside the point. Set pieces have been absolutely dominant, and with no Gabriel today, people have stepped up, man. People have stepped up to take the call, and just shout out to our free kick and set piece takers, specifically Saka and Declan Rice. Just the power and the absolute danger to place it right there in front, so for people to get flicks on and go front post, back post, and any all sorts of situations. Nicholas Yover, you deserve 10 raises and 40 acres, you know what I'm saying, and 10 mules. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me where I'm gonna get it from, but I'm gonna get it to you somewhere. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be real. Listen, if it's gonna take us dunking on teams the whole season, I'll absolutely take it. I'll absolutely take it personally. I think, again, and of course in the long run, I'm joking a little bit, but in the long run, we do have to find a bit more proactivity to be on the front foot and exploit these central spaces with carriers, which I hope Neri can get more endeavor to do. I hope Declan Rice can get way more endeavor to do, because he's too good at driving with the ball to just be, you know, to not have as many just goes and drives and at bats at it. I want him to be much more front footed. And yeah, and just have those little you know, moments right there. But again, with Calafiori out, and a few other people that are missing from the lines, that wasn't as apparent today, or that wasn't as exploited today from the entire team, or as many people as possible, which I would love to see more. But again, personnel issue as well. If Calafiori's in the team, Timber's in the team, if again Rice is in the team all at the same time, they're gonna hopefully see those pockets and proactively in the middle of that first half make those switches. But you know, it's not here nor there. The second half was again control. I felt like at a certain point in time, we've mitigated them so well. Our ability to pick off the ball at certain points and just attack and stop counters was really, really good. I was thoroughly enjoying the fact that we would stop fast breaks whenever they would try and pop up more often than not. We got more in the duels, we got more in the second balls. The second balls from the air, like the aerial just headers down and into possession into other players, were a lot more accurate in the second half, which is something that wasn't present in the first half, which I enjoyed. I thought that was really helpful in us, again, gaining a lot more footing and gaining a lot more ground and rhythm. But yeah, I think we just did our numbers and just, you know, just cruised them out of the game. Really, I think that was it. We held our own. We were comfortable in our defensive shape. You know, coming out of it, we were again aggressive, picked the right passes, picked the right timings, exploited times, you know, exploited certain things there. Do I wish the finishing throughout the game was better? Absolutely. Again, there was some sitters missed from Partey. I think Martinelli missed one in front of the goal off a set piece. There might have been a couple of more moments there, but that, you know, that's neither here nor there. If I can be a little bit frank, I will be honest. I'm having difficulties still with Martinelli and Partey in moments. I'm gonna be real. Over the long term, I don't want to put a sour in this day, but I'm saying over the long term, addressing the roles and statuses of Partey and Martinelli is important. Looking at the game, there was one instance where Martinelli was like, he was basically 1v1 with Maguire, and if you don't back yourself against Maguire, I feel like it's a real like mental block you have on yourself. It's an IQ mentality thing where I know he has that ability in spades to beat this guy. Absolutely, he could tuck that in any day when he's on it. But it just feels like his mind is like, he's trying to focus on the most economical decision instead of sometimes just punching it and going for it. You know what I mean? And again, some of these things do help in an effort to win corners and do certain things. When you have that much of a right of way, you got to back yourself and try. You know, so you got to really back yourself and try. So if he's psyching himself out and not believing in his ability to get past people 1v1, especially Maguire, you got to have a real look at yourself in the mirror. Personally, I think, again, the defensive work that he does, him being able to, again, just track people down, make certain runs and win us territory, absolutely important. I don't disagree. When it comes to that final third where we want to see him shine, it's like, again, if you did the fusion dance with Trossard, he'd be the perfect left winger. Honestly, he'd be the perfect left winger for us. Again, just that nous, knowing when to, you know, drift in a little bit more, knowing when to do it. And I was paying a bit more attention to it, like the timings of when he would be a bit more inside, a bit more further out on the touchline. It didn't feel all the way in sync, but that's hopefully something he can improve over the season. But for now, it's looking a little bit tough for me to defend him, man. The Martinelli Hive, I'm not gonna lie, I love this kid to death. I got his jersey, I love him, and that will never change for me. But he's gotta figure out how to pick it up and learn that better discernment, you know, in those situations. Again, Thomas Partey, really quick. Again, some good moments, but again, the high risk, high reward, sometimes it's yielding a lot more risk, especially in that first half with a certain bad passes and giveaways. I just think in certain situations, it's too much of a risk to bear, because if it was a better team, they would be kickstarting, you know, again, counterattacks on us all the time, and they would get a lot more out of it than what's it called, Manchester United here today. So I just, couple of things here. We need every single man, every person in the squad has to be available to play. But again, in the long term, looking beyond the season and stuff, and who's gonna start in big games, who's gonna be new consistent, what people we have to maybe go out in the market and grab. That's an important a couple of pieces to note. I'm like, all right, you know, it's there. But let me go and focus on the positives now. The standout players from this match. I think we had a good number of standout players. But first, I'm gonna say, outside of the one mistake, somebody who does deserve a couple of claps, man, Zinchenko. I got to give him a couple of claps because he was underrated today. He wasn't a crazy standout outside of that one moment with Diallo. He had a yellow for, but again, handled his assignments as best he could, helped calm down the tempo, which I think he was one of the better influences in maintaining control, picking the right passes, and just keeping that rhythm going. I think he was important for that. So I want to say, you know, shout out to him, shout out to Kivior as well. Again, I don't understand why people think he's Rob Holding. You know, no offense to Rob Holding, but like I don't understand why people think he's like crazy bad. He's not. He's a really good center back. He's not great at left back and trying to, you know, controlling the ball and get really onto it, which is again an invariably high standard at the club, in this team. But at left center back, again, he's physical. He is reading the game pretty well. And today I think he did his job. Again, kept a clean sheet, so you can't really complain about him too much. Was doing a lot of covering. Was again mobile across a back line. I just stuck to left center back. Was doing his numbers, man. So underrated shout out to him. I will say, bruh, standouts today. One, Bukayo Saka. What else? He's still gonna get assists. He's still gonna do it. That record is, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm not gonna say. That's all. Usual standards. I don't gotta say too much about it. We already know. Next up, David Raya. Fantastic game. He's a top 3 player for me so far this season. His value to this team in standing, you know, almost coming into the back line at times, which he did a lot this game, being that extra center back with the build up, baiting people, creating more openings. His distribution and kicking was absolutely spot on today. I don't think I could recognize maybe one kick that was out of place from him in terms of, again, launching it into certain spaces, picking the right little short range passes, mid range passes, full boots. Like, it was there. And saves, commanding the box, was top tier today. It was a wonderful save. He just palmed away. I think it was from a De Ligt header. Wonderful. He was absolutely on it today, and that's what I want to see, bro. He's on a class level. I think he's on the precipice of world class level, if you really want to argue it, man. I would say yes, he is. He's on world class form right now. You know, you can debate that in the comments if you want, man. Just let me know. But shout outs to, I think, our 3 biggest standouts from today. Declan Rice is one of them. I think that was one of his best games he's played this season and overall. Just the control, the switching, him being on the right side, the left side, sweeping up things, breaking up play, being a carrier, again, being one of the few consistent carriers in the team, set piece deliveries, just being an absolute consistent, constant presence in this team and all over the pitch. I don't think that they could contend with that, man. He was very good, very, very helpful, more than people might realize across a game. He was wonderful today. But my two top players, let's talk about it. One of them is Jurrien Timber. He is second place right now, and it was by a small margin. But Jurrien Timber, oh my gosh, if we had him last season, the way we would have dog walked certain teams because they would not expect how good he is in all phases of play, in all kinds of weather, in the snow, in the sleet, in the hail, with a pail. Listen, bro, he's all over it, bro. Locking up Amad Diallo like it's nothing. Another winger in the back pocket. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Diallo was on one side. I'm about to say Malacia Garnacho was on another side. People was getting locked up left, right, and center. They wasn't getting nothing down his way, to be very frank. And just his ability to drop the shoulder, to pick the right passes. He literally, there was a question asked the other day about what player would you want 11 of in every position. High key, Jurrien Timber is one of them, bro. I just feel like anywhere in the pitch feels comfortable for him. And that's what I want to see. The versatility and the confidence in the versatility to just play your way and play anywhere in the middle of the damn box, doing flick on headers for the first goal. That's what we want to see, bro. Bro, he's playing like an ACL didn't even exist for him. The ACL injury was just thin air. It's a myth. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Jurrien Timber, you are absolutely fantastic. I love you. That's real. And my man of the match today, William Saliba, bro. In a time where Gabriel staked his claim this season and really said, hey, listen, y'all must have forgot, like, I'm really him. I'm really one of them ones, the first one to sign this project, and I've only been getting better. In a time where he's out today, but he's over the course of the season, he's shown, I think on average put in some really strong performances and compared to Saliba. I mean, just by a little bit, maybe just squeaked them by a little bit. But today, William Saliba showed everywhere he goes is Rolls Royce settings, man. It's Rolls Royce settings. I need y'all to understand that. Defensively, by himself, snuffed out so many defensive transitions. I honestly cannot count them. There was at least four by himself. Was like, man, whatever, I'm going to turn, eek, pick myself at the right time, tackle, eek, whatever, gone, just doing whatever he wants. Picking the ball off players like it's ease, like a hot butter through some hot knife through some butter. Backwards analogy, but you understand what I'm saying. But again, everything defensively, it was fantastic. And on top of that, everything that was added to his bag, the little things that, again, the little 5-yard carries, the confident breaks from pressure, just dribbling through two players and finding another person. The link up play in certain passages was ridiculous. The diagonal switches to the other side, again, just playing the long ball in case we need a little fresh look from the opposite side. He was doing everything that I think as a team we should be employing better, especially people who have that space and have license to get forward from the back line. Again, more defensive-minded players. Again, the Calafioris, the Gabriels, the Salibas, the Ben Whites, the Timbers of the world. These things, he embodied that so well this game. Embodied that to an absolute T. And on top of that, he gets to go with the BBL. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want from him? One of the best center backs in the world, period. I would probably, he's top 3 in the world right now. He's top 3 in the world, and I don't care what you say, bro. I don't care. He is top 3, and we might have 2 of the top 3, at least 2 of the top 5. I'll tell you that right now. 2 of the top 5 are definitely. Shoot, throw a couple of them Inter ones and VVD, and we good. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the 5. But Saliba, mwah, beautiful, man. Shouts to the crowd today. They really did get up in the second half after the first goal went in. I wish there was more consistent noise, but still showed up too in what I don't doubt is an absolutely abhorrent cold. The coaches today, man. Nicholas Jover, again, you get however many raises you want. Please give him all the money he deserves. Solid contract, please. Mwah. Thank you. And Mikel Arteta, I thought he was, again, set up very, very well today. And the adjustments to attack more central spaces through carrying, through these little slick passes in the link up, was a really good adjustment second half. Also, there was points where defensive coverage was a real worry when substitutions were made and things were being jumbled around. But you know, again, Declan Rice making adjustments to the other side. Again, just little instructions here and there. I think the contingencies that were made for some of these changes were very welcome. I think the setup worked. I think the setup was, again, poised to win. And we saw it through. Saw a clean sheet through. Did what we needed to do. Arteta, a good day. And yeah, we moved, bro. Moves to the weekend. I think it's Fulham on the 8th on Sunday. And we got to go, man. We got points to accrue and pick up. I believe now we're only 7 points. I think, yeah, we're 7 points away from Liverpool. Chelsea is right with us, step in step. City won their game today, so they're 2 points behind us. Serious competition, man, and we got to maximize our points. We have to maximize every step from here until January, when things get real dicey with, again, heavier fixtures, like, again, the FA Cup. We got Manchester United again. Some real tough tests that are ahead in the new year. But while we have a lighter schedule than our opponents difficulty wise, now is the time where we gotta start racking up wins. We gotta put this run together to really bet in and stick close, because where there's points dropped, we have to capitalize. We have to, and then we'll see where we're at the turn of the year, and then we'll go from there. Simple as. But let me know what you thought of the game in the comment section below. I'm about to get up out of here, bro, because I'm super hungry, but I also gotta, you know what I'm saying, send some more slander. Man, you. Hey, listen, this full-time trip. That's all the time we got, and I'm out of here, man. COYG.